Hey guys, David again, back for the last wine of this trio bundle, the always delicious Flirt. Very seductive. So, we're going to kind of do the same process as we did in the last two videos, the Pinot Grigio and the Viognier. We're going to go through a little bit of the origin, and because this is a blend, I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about blushes and how that came to be and came to popularity and everything in the world, and what the difference between that and a rosé is as well. And then we'll go through, talk about the winemaking process, taste and analyze the wines, and then I'll give you some pairings like always. Alright, let's start. So with the origin of a blush, blushes have not always been a method of winemaking. It became popular in California, like a lot of things, after Prohibition, when they were trying to pump up their wine industry. And really some of the first blushes were Cabernets, Zinfandels, and Merlots. Some of y'all might remember the white Merlot and white Cabernet, and you also got your white Zinfandel. Yeah. So a blush, how is it different from a rosé? So nowadays, a lot of blushes are made with predominantly white wine grapes, whereas a rosé is usually always going to be a predominant red wine grape that is processed like a white wine. So what we do with ours is we use the very fragrant grape Muscat Canelli, which is one of the largest grown grapes in the world, especially here in Texas. Everybody has their own different muscats, whether it's a Moscato, dry Muscat, or etc. So with this, we blend in 10% of overripe Pinot Grigio. So if you remember my last video, I was telling you how Pinot Grigio can actually get those red skins. So we let that grape actually overripe, get a lot more red into the skin, and then blend 10% of it in with our Muscat, and that's what gives us our very, very light, faint pink hue. And that's how we get our blush. And we stop this fermentation actually a little bit of the way through and try to save usually between 2 to 3% sugar, semi-sweet. I know it sounds like a lot, but some of your sweet wines can be up to 7 to 10%, so you'd be surprised. So this is actually classified as a semi-sweet wine in that retrospect. So we stop the fermentation a little early, and we have our final product. All aged in stainless steel, never going to see any oak. Kind of like the Pinot Grigio, we're trying to retain the freshness, we're trying to retain the fruitiness, and really all the love of the grapes. So I like to say that this is a great wine for first-time wine drinkers. It's sweet enough to where they're not going to be completely off-put by the dryness and the bitterness of the wine, but it's also not super, super sweet where you feel like you just have a mouthful of candy. So let's do a little bit of analysis and tasting, the part that everybody has probably been waiting for. So starting with the color here, this is the 2018 vintage, so it has started to get a little bit of an orange tint to it, but it still is a very, very faint pink, almost like a faint salmon color. On the nose, very, very fragrant. Again, that's because of the Muscat grape. It's one of the most fragrant grapes that is out there. And with this Muscat Canelli predominance, it really gives off a lot of peach, a lot of floral notes, kind of like a rose petal, geranium-ness as well to it. It's nice, balanced. It goes down very, very easy. We call this one a pool pounder, so I guess to start off your pairings here, it pairs well with the pool. But in a seriousness on the palate on this guy, yep, get a lot of peach, a lot of peach on this, but also a decent amount of citrus as well. But predominant peach. Very beautiful, easy drinking. It's almost flirtatious, if you could say so. So again, because of that little bit of sweetness, it is a versatile wine for food pairing. It goes great with any little small dessert dishes that just need a tiny bit of sweetness to kind of take them over the edge and help balance it out. But it's also good for cutting back on your spices and your hot foods. So this is one of your good foods to have with Mexican food or Indian food because it's great at cutting spice. Yep, I like it. Can't say I like every sweet wine, but this is definitely one that you can drink a few glasses of for sure. And well, that concludes the trio of wine tastings. Thank you for coming and joining me. Thank you for putting up with all the fun history. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it, but hopefully you guys enjoyed tasting the wines and going through everything. So just wanted to thank you guys again.